Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I pay homage to my teacher, Lukswami Mas. Sadhu, sadhu. So we were learning about the Kundalini Sutta, and Buddha was explaining about the Noble Eightfold Path, starting from sense restraint and how sense restraint supports the three kinds of good conduct: bodily good conduct, verbal good conduct, and mental good conduct. And then Buddha was teaching the wanderer Kundalini that the three kinds of good conduct will support the four mindfulness meditation, four types of mindfulness meditation. And we learned about the first type of mindfulness meditation, which is the Kayanupassana, contemplation on the true nature of the body. And Buddha taught about 14 meditation mindfulness techniques under that. And then we learned about the second mindfulness meditation, that's Vedananupassana, practicing mindfulness on feelings. Today we are going to learn the third and go from there. So what is the third mindfulness meditation? Can somebody please share the Satipatthana Sutta? Okay, now we are going to learn about Chittanupassana. How the Buddha taught about practicing mindfulness with regard to the different mental states. Who is going to read?
Can I read something?
Okay.
And how does a mendicant meditate, observing an aspect of the mind? It's when a mendicant understands mind with greed as mind with greed, and mind without the greed as mind without greed. They understand mind with hate as mind with hate, and mind without hate as mind without hate. They understand mind with delusion as mind with delusion, and mind without delusion as mind without delusion. They know constricted mind as constricted mind, and scattered mind as scattered mind. They know expansive mind as expansive mind, and unexpansive mind as unexpansive mind. They know mind that is not supreme as mind that is not supreme, and mind that is supreme as mind that is supreme. They know mind immersed in meditation as mind immersed in meditation, and mind not immersed in meditation as mind not immersed in meditation. They know freed mind as freed mind, and unfreed mind as unfreed mind. And so they meditate, observing an aspect of the mind internally, externally, and both internally and externally. They meditate, observing the mind as liable to originate, as liable to vanish, and as liable to both originate and vanish. Our mindfulness is established that the mind exists to the extent necessary for knowledge and mindfulness. They meditate independent, not grasping at anything in the world. That's how a mendicant meditates, by observing an aspect of the mind.
Sadhu, sadhu. So now you can see how Buddha taught about mindfulness practice with regard to the Chittanupassana, observing one's own mind. So this is a powerful technique to develop mindfulness. Normally, so here you see The practitioner understands mind with greed as mind with greed. Normally, we don't do this. Normally, when greed arises in our mind, we act with the greed. We speak with the greed. We use our body to satisfy our greed. Those are the things we do here. But now, when we try to attain Nibbana, when we want to follow the path to enlightenment, we are following a different path. We are following different, we are doing an observation, right? So instead of acting with these defilements, there are some positive states of mind and there are some negative states of mind. For example, here, the greed is a negative state of mind. So instead of acting with that negative state of mind, you are mindful of what is going on in the mind. That is when you practice the Samma Sati, right mindfulness. You are mindful of the current mental state of the mind and you understand, okay, now greed has arisen in my mind, right? So how did this arise and what are the causes, conditions? How is this how this is conditioned? So it's a different life. So like that. So they understand mind with head as a mind with head. That's only when you practice mindfulness, right? Mindfulness. Otherwise, we don't know that when we are angry, when we are hateful, we don't know. We already have acted. People shoot at others, people fight, people kill others with hate. People yell at others with hate. They do bodily actions, verbal actions, and mental actions based on this hate. But when you practice the Noble Eightfold Path, when you practice this Chitta Anupassana, it's different. You understand, you are mindful, okay, now anger has arisen in me. You understand the current mental state. It's like that. All these different states of mind. If you are mindful of what is happening inside the mind, you are on the Noble Eightfold Path. You are getting closer to an end of suffering. You are getting closer to the enlightenment.
Bhante, when the thought comes up, say the thought of hate comes up, has karma started yet? Or is it if you act on the hate that pops up in your mind? So all of a sudden I recognize that there's hate in my mind. Have I now started karma? Like the bad karma started?
As soon as you start understanding that, you start to understand or you start to be mindful of that mental state, a stream of good karma is happening. You don't need to think about the previous state of mind. I mean, anger has arisen in me. Oh, that's a bad karma. I am very unfortunate. I already made the bad karma. No, that's not the right way to think. Karma is accumulated every second. Every moment karma is accumulated. But what happens is, if we act with the negative qualities such as hatred, our karma gets multiplied, right? It becomes very big, heavy karma. If we kill somebody with anger, it's added to the karma, right? So, but as soon as you understand, okay, now anger has arisen in my mind, since you are practicing the Noble Eightfold Path at that time, since you are practicing the right mindfulness at that time, the seventh factor of the Noble Eightfold Path, a huge stream of good karma starts accumulating at that time. Just focus on that. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
Very good.
Bhante, question.
Now we are going to learn. We are going to go to Sutta Friends. This is another website to read suttas. We are going to find about more information about different mental states and how these mental states are conditioned by different causes. There are some collection of suttas in the Anguttara Nikaya. Let's say, okay, here we can learn some beautiful things from the teachings of the Buddha. So we were talking about understanding different mental states, right? And being mindful and aware of those different mental states. And if anybody practices like that, they get an opportunity to understand how they arise and what are the causes behind that negative quality. So they can work on abandoning that negative quality instead of acting with that negative quality and making lots of bad karma. So that's a powerful gateway to enter the Noble Eightfold path. Okay, so what is the mental state we are going to understand here deeply?
Sense desire.
Yeah, sense desire. Sense desire. So the desire for sights, sounds, smells, tastes, tangibles, basically. When such a desire has an instant. Remember the first one in the Chittanupassana, when there is greed in the mind, the practitioner is mindful of that. So greed is related to this sense desire. Okay, can somebody read?
Avante, may I?
Mhm.
Monks, I do not see a single thing that gives rise to sense desire, like the feature of attractiveness. Also, I do not see a single thing when sense desire has arisen that makes it increase and grow, like the feature of attractiveness. When you attend unwisely to the feature of attractiveness, sense desires arises, and once arisen, it increases and grows.
Very good.
Monks.
So, okay,
Sadhu.
let me explain here something. So this is a beautiful discovery of the Buddha, that people suffer in this world when their mind is occupied by these sense desires, desire for beautiful things, desire for, people, desire for food, desire for music or whatever. Like sometimes these desires are like burn themselves. They are very stressful with these desires. There is no peace inside, right? But they don't know why. People don't know why. They know that they are burning inside. They're stressful inside. They are restless inside, but they don't know why. This is a powerful discovery of the Buddha. If you are mindful of your sense desire when it has arisen, you will get an opportunity to see the root cause of it. The root cause is that you have given attention to the sign of attractiveness, feature of attractiveness, of anything, of a body, of somebody, of some type of food, of some types of vehicle, of some types of house. You have reflected on the features of the attractiveness, or the like the beauty of it, the colors, the features. If those things are repeatedly wandering in the mind, then you cannot escape from sense desire. More desires will grow, more craving will enter your mind, more restlessness are to be expected, more unsatisfactoriness, more stress. Those kind of things will be the result. So then you get an understanding about the current situation in your mind. You understand, oh, I was thinking about the beautiful side of that body, of that food, of this and that. Oh, that is why I am suffering with this sense desire. And you get an opportunity to abandon that now, because you know the cause of it. If you don't know the cause of it, you just have to live with that fire. You can't do anything. That's why these teachings are so amazing and powerful. And it teaches the cause of suffering. Buddha teaches the cause. Buddha first teaches this suffering, and then cause of suffering, then end of suffering, and the path to end suffering. Four Noble Truths are everywhere in these teachings. And first we are going to learn about the causes for negative mental states. So let's finish this first, and then we can understand. Buddha helps us to learn about the way out of these negative mental states. Is that clear? How the thinking about the features and signs of attractiveness lead to sense desire? Is that clear?
Yes, Bhante.
So you like to live with these fires of sense desire? So then you can continue thinking about the beautiful side of things. Okay. But if you like to live a peaceful life, calm, peaceful, relaxed life, then you have to find the way out. You have to change your focus of the mind. If your mind is focused on the beauty of something, there is a beauty of everything Buddha teaches. That's called asada. There a gratification. There is that. Buddha didn't reject that. But at the same time, there is adinava. Adinava means the drawbacks, the dangerous side, the ugly side, you know. But Buddha found that the path to true happiness also is there. That means even though there is a happy, beautiful, entertaining side of an object, if you can focus on the ugly side, the drawbacks, the danger of any object, that becomes your path to enlightenment. Not only the path to enlightenment, it also gives so much peace, clarity, and true happiness here and now. So here are the teachings, and you can learn these things and you can apply these things to your life. Let's say you have diabetics, right? But if you focus on the good side of all the sweet food, you have to regret it later, because until you start thinking about the drawbacks of those food, you are going to be restless, stressed, because your mind always won't ask you to eat it. But you know, then you are in trouble because you have diabetes, right? So it's like that. Every object has these two sides, gratification side and the drawback side. So here, thinking about the gratification side, feature of attractiveness leads to sense desire, and it increases. If it already has arisen, it increases and grows. If you keep contemplating or reflecting on the features of the attractiveness. We go to the second mental state. When ill will or anger or hatred has arisen in your mind, and if you are mindful of that mental state, okay, now ill will has arisen in my mind, then you get an opportunity to understand the root cause of it, the cause behind your anger. Can somebody read this?
Bhante, can I try? Monks, I do not see a single thing that gives rise to ill will like recollecting the root cause. Also, I do not see a single thing when it has arisen that makes it increase and grow, like recollecting the root cause. When you recollect the root cause, ill will arises, and once arisen, it increases and grows.
So previously the feature of attractiveness, the Pali word is subhanimitta, subhanimitta. Subhanimittang ayoniso manasikaroto. And here, recollecting the root cause means patiga nimitta. Patiga nimitta means if something happened, at that time you got angry, and you repeatedly think about that moment, that incident which made you angry. If you keep doing it, let's say somebody yelled at you, okay, that's how you got angry at that time. And now you, after 3 years, let's say, you think about your mind, those words are playing back. That person yelled at you with some words and they are playing in your mind. Anger will come back. That's called patiga nimitta. Patiga nimittang ayoniso manasikaroto. So vyapada, ill will arise. So if you are aware of the current mental state and if it is ill will or anger, and you will realize gradually that my anger increases if I keep thinking about what happened that day and what kind of words he used. That's the meaning of patiga nimitta. And we are going to learn about the positive side in the next chapter. That means what is the opposite of anger and how that positive qualities is grown in the mind. And these are also mental qualities here, and all of these are negative qualities. So who is going to read next one?
I can read the next one, Bhante, if it's okay.
Yeah.
Monks, I do not see a single thing that gives rise to restlessness and remorse, like an unsettled mind. Also, I do not see a single...
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Can you read the previous one?
Yes. Monks, I do not see I don't see anything that gives rise to sleepiness and dullness, like the dislike of the Dhamma path, slothfulness, yawning, dullness after eating, and mental sluggishness. Monks, when you have a sluggish mind, sleeplessness and dullness arise, and once arisen, they increase and grow.
So these are other mental qualities, negative mental qualities. So they were in the Chittanupassana, and Buddha asked us to be mindful of those negative mental states when they have arisen. So here they are related to when the mind is not immersed in meditation. You understand mind is not immersed in meditation. That means mind is sluggish, mind is sleepy. There is dullness, sleepiness in the mind. So you are aware of those mental states. And you also understand the causes for those negative mental states. So sleepiness and dullness of the mind are a result of arati. Arati means dislike of the Dhamma path. So you don't have energy. There is some dislike of the Dhamma path. Sometimes you can't read books. There's no happiness of reading Dhamma books. There is no happiness of listening to a Dhamma talk, right? Meditation doesn't give you happiness sometimes. So then you understand that's the reason for the sleepiness and dullness. And also slothfulness. Mind is very cloudy, dark, not bright. Yawning also leads to sleepiness and dullness. And also dullness after eating. Arati Tandi Vijambika Bhatta Sammado. Dullness after eating. These are the causes for those negative mental states. Mental sluggishness. Aratitandi Vijambika, Bhatta Samudo, and then Chetasolinata, mental sluggishness. There are five reasons lead to sleepiness and dullness. These are very deep Dhamma, right? Buddha has gone to the depth of the mind, found out all the causes, conditions, all the subtle areas of the mind. We are going to learn another negative mental quality that you have to be mindful of when it has arisen. Who is going to read?
Can I read, Bante?
Mm-hmm.
Monks, I do not see a single thing that gives rise to restlessness and remorse like an unsettled mind. Also, I do not see a single thing, when restlessness and remorse have arisen, that makes them increase and grow, like an unsettled mind. When the mind is not settled, restlessness and remorse arise, and once arisen, they increase and grow.
Sadhu. This is also a very important mental state that you have to be very mindful of, the restlessness. If we are not mindful of that mental state, and if we are adding fuel to that negative mental state, we are going to lose so many good things in our life, because restlessness really damage our Dhamma path. And the reason for that is unsettled mind, the wandering mind, scattered mind always leads to restlessness and remorse. Thinking about the past, future, I shouldn't have done this, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? Why did I do that? Thinking like that. The mind is very restless because the mind is not settled. So at that time you have to practice some samatha meditation, calming meditation, such as breathing meditation, loving kindness meditation, recollection, the qualities of the Buddha, things like that. Or you have to do some volunteering, go and help out, somebody you can help in the community. You do some service to others, so your mind will start relaxed, and the restlessness will go away. We are going to discuss about the solutions for these things later. But you understand restlessness and remorse as a negative quality. That's very important, because sometimes people don't categorize these things as negative qualities. Restlessness, remorse, they think it's the part of the life, and they think it's okay to live with these qualities. They don't understand the danger. But Buddha teaches these are negative qualities. They really hinder the wisdom. They block our Dhamma path, and that's why we have to be aware of these mental states, and also understand why these negative mental states are present in the mind. And we go to the last one here in this chapter about the negative mental states. This is the last one.
Bante, may I read?
Okay.
May I read, Bante?
Mm-hmm.
Monks, I do not see a single thing that gives rise to doubt, like unwise attention. Also, I do not see a single thing when it has arisen that makes it increase and grow, like unwise attention. When you attend unwisely, doubt arises, and once arisen, it increases and grows. Thank you, Bante.
So this is vicikiccha. Doubt is also a negative mental state, and we have to be aware of it when it has arisen. And also, if you are mindful of that, these doubts have arisen in my mind, you get an opportunity to understand the root cause of it. That's unwise attention. Ayoniso manasikara. That means you are thinking wrong way. You're not thinking in line with the truth. You're not thinking in line with the teachings of the Buddha. You're not thinking in line with the reasonable facts. You have completely gone wrong way. You have gathered wrong information, or you have listened to something not right, or you have misunderstood something, and that's the unwise attention, ayoniso manasikara, and always that leads to the doubt. And lots of people suffer with doubts about past lives, doubts about future lives, doubts about present life, and who created this life, how we came to this earth, what happens after it. Lots of doubts. People come here like on a daily basis, different people from different backgrounds, you know. When we speak to them, they ask all these questions, and we can understand people are living in nets of doubts. They are enveloped. Their lives are completely enveloped with these doubts. It's hard to come out of these doubts sometimes, because it's unwise consideration, unwise attention. Ayoniso manasikara is so strong that they are unable to come out of those doubtful mental states. And also doubts about the Buddha's enlightenment, doubt about the Dhamma, doubt about the path, doubt about the practice, training. All these doubts hinder the progress of the spiritual path. So you have to understand. You have listened to something wrong, you have listened to some wrong Dhamma talks or misinterpretations, or personal opinions that don't go in line with the teachings of the Buddha. And if you keep using those misinterpretations, only doubts will arise in your mind. You won't get any clarification or clarity in the mind, confidence in the Dhamma. That won't happen, because the root in the background of your doubts, there are unwise consideration, ayoniso manasikara. Okay, so those are the negative mental states. Basically, some of the negative mental states. There are other negative mental states as well. So if we can use other suttas to learn about those things, but for now, these are the main negative mental states. And now we are going to learn about the positive mental states. If you can remember the Chitta Anupassana, Buddha asked us not to be aware of not only the negative mental states, but also the positive mental states of the mind, right? So that's why when the mind is without greed, you are aware of that my mind is now without greed. Lots of generous thoughts in my mind. And when the mind is without hate, at that time you understand my mind is without hate. Oh, I have lots of compassionate thoughts now, generous thoughts, kind thoughts, forgiving thoughts. So you are aware of the positive mental states as well. So these are about some positive mental states, and you also understand how they have arisen. So you can continue to have them in your mind. You can continue to you feel into those positive states of mind, because you know how they have arisen. If you don't know how they have arisen, even though they are present for some time in your mind, you will lose them quickly, because you don't know how they have arisen, right? So you have to be mindful of those states, and also you need wisdom to understand what is behind these beautiful qualities of the mind, so you can cultivate more positive qualities, noble qualities in your mind. So what is the first one? The teacher's here about a beautiful quality.
I can read Bhante.
Okay, Rob.
Monks, I do not see a single thing that prevents sense desire from arising, like the feature of unattractiveness. Also, I do not see a single thing when sense desire has arisen that causes it to be abandoned, like the feature of unattractiveness. When you attend wisely to the feature of unattractiveness, sense desire does not arise, or if it has already arisen, it is eradicated.
Are these things so amazing? Can you find these things in other books or any other writings, or you can't find these things. But this is all what we want to learn. If we go back to the very first one, here sense desire. Okay, so if you are burning with lust, and Buddha teaches the reason for that is that you are repeatedly thinking about somebody's hair as beautiful, long hair, beautiful hair, or beautiful skin, color of skin. You are thinking about that repeatedly, or the beautiful teeth, beautiful nails. All those features and signs are inside your mind, and you keep thinking about those things. You focus on those things. And also the beautiful voice, right? All these things. And now, and your mind is very restless. You're not relaxed. There is no peace inside. You're burning inside with lust. For example, sense desire. Lust is one thing under sense desire. So I took that as an example. And you go here, if anybody likes to prevent lust from arising, like other sense desires, you can try it. You can test this method. You can apply this amazing teaching to your own life. And if you are burning with lust, if you are very restless, Buddha asks us to use feature of unattractiveness. Start doing the meditation of the 32 impure parts of the body. It's not something wrong. It's there in the body. But the point here is whether we want to live a restless life, burning with lust, or we want to live peacefully with inner peace. So if you start doing the meditation on the 32 impure parts of the body, or the drawbacks of the body, thinking that this body is subject to sickness, and Buddha has taught that if you contemplate on all the diseases that can happen to a body, how fragile this body is, and how it is subject to aging, how it is subject to death, how it is subject to falling apart. And if you focus on these features of unattractiveness of the body, see what happens. See what happens to your mind.
Bhante, when I see this, all I think of is the story of the Bhikkhunis that was in the forest, and that person, there was somebody that came up and said her eyes were so beautiful, and then she pulled her eyes out and said, "Here, if they're so," and all of a sudden they're not so beautiful. I just keep
bleeding
that of all of a sudden how you think of something is so beautiful, but all of a sudden they're in her hand, and not these aren't beautiful anymore.
That's a powerful story. Yeah, that's a powerful example, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what Buddha meant. And that person understood it finally, and he asked for forgiveness, worshipping at her, and she forgave him, and so fortunately he avoided making a powerful bad karma. At first he had, because of focusing on the features of attractiveness, right? And he was going to rape an enlightened nun. That is the danger of focusing on the features of attractiveness. That's a very good sutta. So if we try to learn something from that, it will explain about that nature of things.
It's funny you just said that, because now it just brought something to me that I think in her compassion for that person, she pulled her eyes out.
Oh yeah.
For compassion for that person would not.
That's also a very good example of the compassion of the enlightened monks and nuns, right? And
Yes, very
also,
much so.
yeah, the compassion for others, and also the gratefulness for their own noble qualities, because she knew that she has been practicing precepts, virtue, celibate life for a long time, and she respected that a lot. So even like she was ready to die in order to keep her precepts, and like for a long time a man hasn't touched her, so she wanted to live like that. So if she can't live like that, she was ready to die, right? There's so much respect for the noble qualities she has been practicing for a long time.
Bante, may I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of some people. I mean, we're talking about the mental states, okay? But there are some people have a kind of mental state wherein we usually consider them mentally unhealthy. So they have the mind wherein they think differently, okay? So maybe let's say it's kind of distorted, or sometimes I would say they fall behind the reality. Okay, so what I'm saying, there are people who are like that and they need help. So another example would be suspicious. Okay, so I have encountered many people who, you know, as they grow older, and sometimes they lost the trust of another people and they become paranoid, something like that. So how can we explain this kind of people in the context of the mental states we are discussing? Thank you, Bante.
Mm-hmm. I'll answer you later, okay? I have something interesting here, so I don't want to forget this, and I also don't want to miss this. So I like to give an opportunity to Ray to read this entire thing, because he brought up that on the right time, so everybody can benefit from it.
On one occasion, the nun Suba was going to the delightful Javaka mango garden. Then suddenly a rogue appeared and stood blocking her way. Suba said to him, What wrong have I done to you, that you should stand there blocking my way? It is not fitting, sir, that a man should touch a nun. I deeply respect the Buddhist path. The Sublime One has taught us about the precepts. I protect those precepts surely. I am taintless. So why are you standing here blocking me? You have a disturbed mind. My mind is undisturbed. You are a defiled person. I am a taintless person with no lust. I am liberated from every single defilement. So why are you standing here blocking me? Rogue, you are still young. You are not ugly. What good will nunhood do for you? Throw away your robe. Come, let's enjoy ourselves in this forest full of blooms. The blooming shrubs release a sweet smell in all directions with the pollen of their flowers. This is the beginning of spring, and the weather is very comfortable. Come, let us enjoy ourselves in this forest.
Okay, so what is this? So this is the features of attractiveness, okay? Now you can see how features of attractiveness are leading to the negative mental states, and he was about to make a heavy, grave, powerful, bad karma. He was about to make. And what is the reason? Focusing only on features of attractiveness. Okay, go ahead.
The trees with blossoming crests sway in the wind as if they were singing and dancing. You have entered this forest alone. What enjoyment is there for you? This fearful forest is inhabited by herds of animals and surrounded by female and male elephants. This is a frightening great forest. Do you wish to walk alone without a companion? Your beauty is beyond compare. You are like a statue of gold decorated by the finest kashi cloth. O incomparable one, you shine with beauty like a decorated golden statue. You are an angel in the Chitala forest. I am dazzled by your beauty. If we both were to live together in this forest, I would devote my life to you. Oh, you have crystal clear, shining eyes like that of an angel. There is no other person dear to me than you. If you will grant me my bidding, come and live happily with me in my house. I will offer you my luxurious palace and servant girls who will always attend to your needs. You will wear kashi and the finest of all clothes and put on flower garlands and perfumes. I will make your many ornaments of gold, jewelry, and pearls. In this palace, there is a bed made of sandalwood with a comfortable mattress and a well-washed, beautiful coverlet. It is spread with a new, costly woolen quilt. You can sleep very peacefully on this fragment bed. So why are you living this life of a nun? It is like a blue lotus lake possessed by a demon. Because of your celibate life, you will grow old with your limbs untouched by a man. Suba, what is this that you consider substantial here in this body, which is full of filth, filling the cemetery and is destined to break up? What is that you appreciate so much when you look at this body? Rogue, it is your eyes that I appreciate. Your eyes are extremely beautiful, like those of a doe, like those of a nymph who lives between mountains. When I see your eyes, my desire for sensual pleasure increases all the more. You are like a golden statue. The eyes on your face can be compared with the petals of a red lotus. By seeing your eyes, my desire for sensual pleasures increases all the more. You are you, the one with big eyes. You, the one with pure gaze. No eye are dearer to me than yours. Your nymph with pleasant eyes, even if you go far away, I shall remember your eyes. Suba, no, you wish to go by the wrong path. You seek to have the moon as a toy. You wish to jump over the Mount Meru. Understand me, the one you wish for is a daughter of the Buddha. In this world with its gods, nothing can arouse lust in me. I don't even know what lust is anymore. By following the path of Nibbana, I have rooted out lust. Like sparks from a pit of burning coals, cooling down, like destroying a bowl of poison, I destroyed lust. By following the path of Nibbana, I have rooted out lust. You may seduce a woman who is not insightful or hasn't seen the Buddha through the Dhamma, but not me. You bother me as I realize the true nature of life. Whether I am insulted or praised in both happiness and unhappiness, my mindfulness is well established. I have understood that all conditioned things are disgusting. My mind will not cling or does not cling to anything at all. I'm a disciple of the Buddha. I travel in the vehicle called the Noble Eightfold Path. I have pulled out the dart of lust and destroyed the taints. My heart only delights in an empty hut. I have seen well-painted wood puppets fastened by strings and sticks. They dance in various ways. If these strings and sticks are removed, thrown away, scattered, and broken into pieces, then there is no puppet in them whatsoever, in which part of them should one delight. This body is like a puppet. It does not exist without supporting factors, as it does not exist without supporting factors in which part of the body should one delight. As you see a picture painted on the wall of a woman colored with paints, if people mistake it for a real woman, is it because of their perception is distorted? You are blind. You have run after an empty thing which is like an illusion placed before you by a magician. You are after a golden tree someone has had in a dream. You are playing in a puppet show in the midst of the people. These eyes are like little balls set in hollow grooves with a bubble in the middle, smeared with tears. Inside these grooves, there are eye secretions, various sorts of tendons and flesh rolled into balls. The good-looking lady Suba was not attached to her eyes. With an unattached mind, Suba suddenly tore out her eyes and said, "Come, take these eyes for yourself." Straightway, she gave them to the man. Instantly, the rogue's lust ceased, and he begged for pardon. Rogue, "O celibate nun, may you recover soon. Such a thing will not happen again. If one tries to attack a noble nun like this, it is like embracing a blazing fire. It is like grabbing a poisonous snake with your bare hands. That person will not gain happiness. Please forgive me." The nun was freed from the robe and went to the excellent Buddha. The very instant she saw the one with great marks of excellent merit, the Buddha, her eye was restored to its former condition. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So yeah, very fortunate at least to hear about these lives of the noble nuns, right?
Yes.
Like we should have some powerful good karma, even to hear these words of detachment, words of renunciation, words of dispassion, viraga. Like these kind of words, enlightening words, awakening words are not common in this ordinary world, ordinary society. So if you like to read that again, please go to this is a beautiful translation. You go to suttafriends.org. See here, and go to 3 dots here, and you see go to Te Rigata and search, or you can search on the home page Subha. Just type Subha. That's from the Te Rigata collection of the verses of the Arahant nuns. So you saw there how the focus on the features of attractiveness leading to negative mental states that finally end up by creating bad karma, generating bad karma, and also in the same set of verses of Arahant Subha theory, you learned how the Adina, contemplating on the drawbacks of things, lead to peace, calmness, wisdom, and to enlightenment. Isn't that beautiful? It's like going to a different world for a few minutes, right? Going to a world of awakening ones, living with awakening ones for a few minutes. That's how they attained inner peace. At some point, she said, I don't even know what the lust looks like. Remember? Because once these negative qualities are abandoned from the mind by strong practice, sharp practice, once they are abandoned fully, you can't even visualize them or imagine how they look like. Like if the anger is totally gone from your mind, the mind is only full of loving kindness, compassion, forgiveness, patience, and all these qualities. You don't even know what kind of thing anger is. That's the nature of the mind which has attained Nibbana. That's the path to freedom. That should be the goal. Long way, right? But little by little. That's why we are working so hard. Everybody listening to Dhamma talks, practicing meditation, mindfulness, associating with Kalyana Mittas. Yeah, we are on the right path. It's hard, but there's no other way. So now we are going to learn the other 4 positive mental states and how they arise. Who is going to read? Somebody can read.
Bhante, I can read Bhante.
Okay, Raymond.
Monks, I do not see a single thing that prevents ill will from arising like loving kindness. Also, I do not see a single thing when ill will has arisen that causes it to be abandoned like loving kindness. When you attend wisely on the thought of loving kindness, ill will does not arise. or if it has already arisen, it's eradicated.
Okay, place confidence in these powerful words of the Buddha. If you are burning with anger, hatred, ill will, just cultivate thoughts of loving kindness and your anger will disappear. Don't have any doubts on that. So loving kindness is the powerful medicine for anger. Okay, very good. And when there is loving kindness is in your mind, when it is present, just be aware of that, be mindful of that, and you are practicing Chitta Anupassana. Okay, Raymond, you want to continue?
Yes, Bhante. Monks, I do not see anything that prevents sleepiness and dullness from arising, like the energy of initiative, persistence, and firm determination. Also, I do not see anything when sleepiness and dullness have arisen that causes them to be abandoned, like the energy of initiative, persistence, and firm determination. When you are energetic, sleepiness and dullness do not arise, or if they have already arisen, they are eradicated.
Very good. So if these negative mental states bother you, sleepiness, dullness, Buddha asks you to use your energy, persistence, determination to cultivate wholesome qualities. Maybe you practice some walking meditation, or you change the focus of your mind, or you have some Dhamma discussion with a friend, or you use some insight meditations, vipassana meditations. Use some strategies with energy to fight against sleepiness, dullness, and laziness. But you have to be aware of the current mental states. And the last, before the last one, who is going to read this? The last two.
I could read, Bhante.
Okay.
Monks, I do not see a single thing that prevents restlessness and remorse from arising like a settled mind. Also, I do not see a single thing when restlessness and remorse have arisen that causes them to be abandoned like a settled mind. When your mind is settled, restlessness and remorse do not arise, or if they've already arisen, they're eradicated.
Keep reading, please.
Monks, I do not see a single thing that prevents doubt from arising like wise attention. Also, I do not see a single thing when doubt has arisen that causes it to be abandoned like wise attention. When you attend wisely, doubt does not arise, or if it's already arisen, it's eradicated.
Silence. You can see here beautifully, Buddha explains how these restlessness, remorse are abandoned and develop peace inside, calm mind. It's the result of the settled mind, settled by samatha meditation, serene meditation, or thinking about the qualities of the Buddha, loving kindness meditation, breathing meditation. When you experience a settled mind, restlessness, remorse, all these mental negative mental states will disappear. And also to escape from doubt, to get rid of doubt, you need to understand when the doubts have arisen, and you need to understand the path why they have arisen is because of the unwise consideration, because of your misunderstanding, because you have heard something wrong, and like that. And now you understand, okay, if I want to get rid of this pain of doubts, and they are really hindering my path, I am not achieving any progress in the path because of these doubts. My mind is, there is no, when there are doubts in the mind, you can see other negative mental states also related to that mental state of doubt, is that you are not joyful, there is no rapture in the mind, you are not happy, loss of restlessness also will follow. But when the doubts are abandoned, when your views are straightened, when you have lots of confidence in the teachings of the Buddha, you will realize, you will experience the rapture, the joy, spiritual happiness that's throughout your entire body. Like you will see that Buddha teaches that you will experience that happiness when doubts are abandoned, when the path is clear to you, and like that. So reason for that is the wise attention, wise consideration, yoniso manasikara, because you have started thinking in line with the teachings of the Buddha. You don't listen to misinterpretations, you don't follow personal opinions, you always you learn the pure teachings of the Buddha, and you contemplate on them, you apply them to your life, and that is the path to get rid of doubts. So these are the beautiful mental states, and the path to achieve those positive mental states. A mind that is free of sense desire, a mind that is free of anger, a mind that is free of restlessness and remorse, a mind that is free of doubts, a mind that is free of dullness, sleepiness, brightful mind, energetic mind, insightful mind, delightful mind, confident mind. All these positive qualities are a result of positive causes and conditions. You can understand that through Chitta Anupassana when you are mindful of the mental states. Very deep, right? Deep
Yes,
and
Bhante.
subtle areas of the mind are clearly explained and elaborated by the amazing enlightened one. So we already discussed about Kayanupassana, the contemplation on the body, Vedananupassana, the contemplation on the feeling, Chittanupassana, the contemplation on the mind. We only have one left. That is the fourth mindfulness practice. So we are going to learn about that in the future, hopefully. We don't know whether we have a future, right? Why? We don't know whether our lifespan is going to over tonight. It's not a good thing to wish for future. Any questions, Geeta?
Yes, Bante. I have sort of a practical question. We are all going to get old. It's a matter of time. And when I read Sleepiness and Dullness, because I saw this happening with my own experience with seeing my mom, and as they age, they can't focus anymore. They tend to feel sleepy, and the older they get, they regress back to like a childhood state, like a newborn child. They eat their meal, then they go to bed. Eat their meal, go to bed. And they reduce their consumption of food as well. Instead of 3 meals, they go to 2 meals, and they go to 1 meal. So how can we, seeing that's what the future is going to bring, provided we live that long, how can we train here and now with wisdom, with noble wisdom, to counteract that? Would it help to have a sort of a routine and become aware of what's waiting for us ahead of time, and then use all our energy now and develop the path fully? And then just when we reach that stage, we're ready to accept it, and we're ready to deal with the conditions. What is your...
Yeah. So you shouldn't ask what is your. You should ask what did
Bhante's?
Buddha say about
Okay,
it.
what did Buddha say?
Okay.
Okay.
So yes, Buddha repeatedly told the monks. We have those suttas in the Anguttara Nikaya. Buddha said, monks, now you are young. You are in the prime of life. But there will be a time will come that you are very old. So when you are old, it's not easy to practice this path. So that's the point I wanted to make. So Buddha realized that there is such a thing, that if somebody says, no, if you practice this path, this is a miraculous path, so you don't need to, like, you can delay things, and because this is an amazing path, even you're very old, You know, you can practice as the same way that you practice in the young, so you don't need to hurry, you can wait. Somebody may say that, but Buddha taught the monks, when you are old, it's hard.
Mhm.
That's what you said, right? Same thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the message, the important message of the Buddha, before that happens to you, use your energy now.
Mhm.
Practice the path to cleanse your mind, to remove negativities from your mind, to achieve advanced precepts. Work harder now. Again, Buddha went on to say, monks, now you are very healthy. You anything you eat is easily digested and you have a healthy body. Very few illnesses you experience. But there comes a time you will be very sick. At that time, monks, it's difficult to follow this path. So it's true, it's going to be difficult. So the message of the Buddha, don't delay cultivating wholesome qualities. If we delay at that time when we are lying on a bed, crying with pain, we will regret. Oh, I was healthy before, but I did so many unnecessary things. I wasted lots of my precious healthy life. Don't be regretted later. That was the message of the Buddha. Right? So yes, we all will experience such a thing. Day by day, we will lose these abilities. You know, now is the time to do lots of walking meditation, not the future. Now is the time to do lots of sitting meditation, not the future. Now is the time to listen to lots of Dhamma talks, not the future, because we are going to lose the hearing, right? No Dhamma talks anymore. Can you imagine living without listening to a Dhamma talk? We have to be prepared. Now is the time to read Digha Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya, Samyutta Nikaya, 18,000 discourses. Not the future. We are going to lose our eyesight. Can you imagine every time we will, if we live that long, we will live keeping the darkness, pitch darkness in our eyes. We won't see anything. We won't see our loved ones. Now we want to see our loved ones all the time. And if they are far away, if our children are learning in a different country, different state, right? We want to see them. We want to see them quickly. Once a week, we want to see them. If we can't see them, we are very sad and upset. Imagine the time comes, we can't see anybody.
Mhm.
We can't read any sutta. That's ahead. So Buddha's message is that work hard now, understand the reality that we are going to face. But if you practice now, okay, I forgot the last paragraph of that sutta. Buddha teaches, if you practice now before you get old, when you are old, you will be able to live happily.
Mhm.
That's also in the last paragraph of that sutta. So, but now, in general, when people are at the last part of their life, when they are old, so in most cases, we don't see that happiness inside them. They feel regret for some things. They are remorseful. Maybe they think that they are not satisfied with sense pleasures or money or whatever. You know, sometimes they lose mindfulness. We can see very clearly that in most of the cases, those people who have reached the end of their life are not happy. But here Buddha teaches, if you work hard now, before you come to the last stage of life, at that time also you will be happy. You will live happily. And Buddha teaches, if you practice Dhamma now, If you attain the stages of enlightenment quickly, and if you purify your mind, if you do lots of meritorious deeds now, if you practice generosity, kindness, precepts, and meditation, and all these wholesome qualities now, even when you are sick, you will be able to live happily. That's the message of the Buddha. So there is happiness still, even at that stage of life. Buddha guarantees that you will be able to live happily. Maybe we are lying on a bed, right? And people come to see us and people is smiling, not complaining or not screaming, oh, see what happened to me. I can't lift my hand. I can't walk now. What happened to me? Oh, why did you come to see me for a long time? Oh, I don't get to eat delicious food now as I used. No, those no more complaints, screaming, regretful, thoughts and everything. You will be smiling lying on the bed, even though you can't move your body. There's no strength, but still you will be smiling, and you will tell the people who are around you, this is the path. I'm really lucky because I came across this amazing path. I got some opportunity to follow this path.
I can ask a question.
Yes.
So again, this is an ironic thing. My dad is a few days away from dying. And when he lost consciousness about 4 or 5 days ago, his mind was not in a happy state. When I went and seen him here the last couple of days, I've been holding his hand, trying to think happy thoughts of his life with me, and trying to send energy to him to have a happy mind. Is that anything that helps, or am I just wasting my time doing that?
Very important thing is that for such a person, we should try to, like, if we can communicate, we should definitely ask him or her to think about all the good things, like that can make him.
I don't know if he can. He's incoherent. I like all he's doing right now is breathing. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can hear. Like they say, that's the only way.
That's why I say, like,
he can hear you.
If we can communicate, and if others can hear us, when we are in such an environment situation, one thing we should definitely do is that we should ask him to think about all the good things he did in his life, like how he helped others, how he helped the family, how he helped the kids, and all the grateful things, like, because in person's life there are so many things that can make him happy, like so many sacrifices, helping others, volunteering, treating other people nicely, lots of good things. So before it is too late, that's an essential thing that we all should do to our parents, our relatives, our friends, and if they are dying, right? That's a very powerful thing. And even in such situations, as Ray explained, that we cannot communicate with that person, we still try to create some safe environment by chanting paritta. That's also a powerful thing. When somebody is dying, we chant paritta to give some blessings to that person, or to if there is an attack of non-humans going there, which is also something to consider seriously. Sometimes Luxon, my teacher, explains how people have like shared stories with him and all these things, taking into consideration that when somebody is dying, non-humans gather around that person and try to scare that person, or try to insist that person that you also should come to our world. So like that. So there are some invisible things happening around such a person, of a dying person. So chanting paritta helps. helps that person to have some protection, some safer environment. If that person knows the Dhamma, to contemplate the Dhamma peacefully without being attacked by non-humans, and also to get the help of the devas. But
No, my father's not. He doesn't believe in what I believe.
yeah, that's why I
that-
said, like, if, like, our the solutions or our help for somebody is kind of getting very limited if we don't act before it is too late, right? Not only for others, even for ourselves. If we are too late to come into this path, it will be too late at some point, when our minds are very weak, when we lose this strength, all these things. It will be too late. Even to, let's say, we want to improve our life, but if it is too late, we are also going to fail. Yeah, it's anyway. Anyway, we are all blessed. Share blessings with your father. May he have the peaceful mental state. May he have the opportunity, to think about, at least, even though we cannot communicate with, at least people can think about the good things, how they help the world and all these good things. So may your father have all the protection and all the good karma help him, because he have any individual have created so much good karma in past lives. So may all the good karma coming from this unseen past help your father to be peaceful. Okay. So
Thank you, Bhante.
very good. So we learned lots of beautiful teachings of the Buddha. We practiced meditation. We discussed the Dhamma. We read the Dhamma. We helped each other in many ways. So now is the time for all of us to share this amazing good karma with our teacher, Luk Swami Mahansi. Sadhu, sadhu. We share merit with all the devas. Sadhu, sadhu. We share merit with our parents, teachers, family members, sons, daughters, and with all beings. May everybody enjoy long life, good health, happiness, and peace.